Hey guys, the Langbanger here. So I wanted to have a general discussion just talking about Shaddolls and some kind of, I don't want to say under the radar, tech picks to use in the deck, but it's cards that maybe you haven't seen in a lot of people's lists, whether that's YouTube, at regionals. I mean, what regionals? Everything's canceled. But, you know, anyone that knows me knows that I do try and have the most fun that I can within this game. I mean, it's one thing to just see a list online and just like copy it, right, and then it's just like if it's something that topped, right, then it's like, hey, maybe it is the most like ideal, right, but then I don't want to say that's like the funnest way, right? Because I mean, there's so many cards in the game. I think there's like 10,000 plus, and there's just a lot of cool things that you can do. So, hopefully, some of you may find these, some of these cards, valuable, just to play around with. I'm not saying it's the most comparative, but it's just, new things to do. So, let me see if where to start here. So I do have a stack of cards here. So I mean, I guess also just the other thing with this is we have the April ban list coming up, so some of my text may change, but then also we know for sure that we'll be able to just mass fuse on the field, not needing links anymore. So that's really good. So I kind of feel like the first card I wanted to discuss is Dark Roller No More. So you're not going to be able to OTK your or your opponent, but just being able to freeze their board, because now I mean, the game's been about building a board for, some time, but this just allows your plays to get through. So unless they have a card to negate this, this is going to freeze all of their monsters on the board, and then you can just freely do whatever you want. So that one's kind of a given. Another card I kind of wanted to talk about, if you're going first, is Spellcaster Village, or Secret Village of the Spellcaster. I'm sorry. So it's kind of an older card. Again, I'm not saying any of these cards are, just anything like too amazing, right? But like what I'm going to show you, they all do have some sort of merit. So just with this and having a wind out, I mean, this is a heck of a card. So, I mean, the unfortunate thing with a card like this is, if you're going second, you're going to have to break their board and then have, a spellcaster and then have this. So, that's kind of iffy. I mean, you can spring it on your opponent with like Demise of the Land or Metaverse if you want to go that way. But, this is more so a going first kind of a card. And then, then back to Dark Roller No More, just used for an example there. I mean, that's not ideal turn one, right? But, then turn three, right, your second turn, then, that can help you fight. So, next one, Magicalized Fusion. So I did have this in one of my profiles. This card is absolutely amazing. It allows you to bring out Winda. So not to say Winda's hard to bring out or anything, because you have plenty of darks. I mean, majority of the Shaddolls are dark. But this allows you to use materials from your graveyard. So that's just really cool. It's something that other cards really don't allow you to do. So the cool thing on top of that is this actually lets you bring out Quintet Magician. So Quintet Magician, it's a fusion, has 4,500 attack, I believe, and it says you need 5 spellcasters. And the big text is if you use 5 spellcasters with different names, you get to pop your opponent's board. That's crazy. So, this may not be something you'd want to use turn 1, but more so like a turn 2 to like come back or, just help come back in the game. So that's another one. So this is kind of a weird one, but Ultra Polymerization. So I'm thinking of this card with the new rules in mind where you can have multiple fusions on the field. So let me just down here. So pay 2,000 life points, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using 2 monsters you control as fusion materials. So it's kind of iffy sounding at first. So paying 2,000 life, that's a fourth of your life. You need to have 2 monsters on the board. That's the other part to it. But neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So that could be very valuable. But then it gets even better. Then you can banish this card from your grave, Then, target one fusion monster that was fusion summoned with this card's effect. Special summon all the fusion materials for its fusion summon from their grave. Change your attack and defense to 0. Also, they have their effects negated. So, that's a whole lot of text. But basically, that's saying is you can bring back, 2 monsters when you banish it. That's valuable. It doesn't matter that their attack and defense is 0, and then it doesn't matter that their effects are negated, because then if you fuse with those, they're going to go to the grave, they're leaving the field. So unless, some role, changes that, I mean, that's very valuable to me. So nothing too much to say on that. Kind of an older card, and this again is thinking with the new roles in mind. Activate this card by paying 800 life points, target a fusion monster in your grave, special summon it, equip it with this card. That's crazy. That's very valuable. So with you no longer needing links, this could be a very valuable card. So I'm actually very excited that, we basically don't need links anymore. Not to say you wouldn't use it still, because you still have Cross Sheep. I mean, Appaloosa is really good. Avramax is good. I think, links like that, they'll still be valuable, but we can use more fusions in the extra deck. So I think this could be a valuable card as well. So let's get a little weird here. Well, actually, before I go into that. So this one's kind of known, or if it isn't, it will be, but Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. So with Union Carrier coming out, basically you can just equip this card from the deck, and if you read here, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. That's crazy. So just be on the lookout for that. That's a thing. You can use Union Hanger Union Carrier, I'm sorry. I'm an ABC fan, so yeah, but Union Carrier, that's going to be a heck of a card just in general. It's going to cause a lot of chaos in the game. So just be on the lookout for this. I think that's really good, especially going first. Shaddoll likes building her board. So if you can somehow go Union Carrier and then bring this out and equip it, that just has a lot of value. So this is going to be now a little weird. So one of the things that I always thought, like with Shaddolls, is, if you have a good mixture of spells and monsters, like, you're gonna have a pretty decent game, I guess, back and forth. But like, if you open up multiple monsters, a lot of monsters and not enough spells, or if like you just don't have the cards to get your plays going, you're gonna have a tough time. So I'm not saying that this is gonna, fix those problems, because still, like, you can't avoid, what you draw. But there are some engines that you can kind of play around with. So the first one I was thinking about actually was Fluffal. So I should say Frightfur though. So the reason I'm showing you these 3 cards, there's some value here, because Frightfur Patchwork, Misty, you should know what the card is, but add 1 Edge Imp monster and 1 Polymerization from your deck to your hand. So right off the bat, this is a +1, so that's valuable. Second of all, Polymerization. It allows you to go into a fusion, and then you're going to get your guys off. That's really good. But now, then you have to think to yourself, well, what Edge Imp can I use that's really going to provide any sort of value? I haven't looked at all the Edge Imps. I don't think any new ones came out recently, but I would say Edge Imp Chain is the best. So the reason for that is if this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can add a Frightfur card from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty crazy. So I'm not saying how many of, all of these you should use, but I think that's kind of a valuable engine. So getting rid of those and going back to the polymerization, potentially, we also have Keeper of Dragon Magic. So this card sees play in Duel Links. It's a very valuable card in Duel Links. I mean, Duel Links is, a lot simpler than the TCG, so I mean, kind of rightfully so. But, so looking over this card, if this card is normal or special summon, you can discard 1 card, add 1 Polymerization normal spell, or Fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. And then you can reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck, special summon one of the fusion materials whose name is specifically listed, yada 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 yada. So yeah, so that part I wouldn't say is valuable, but the first part of it, to be able to discard a card, add a polymerization, or add a fusion normal spell card, so that can grab you Shaddoll fusion. So, in a way, yeah, I mean, as long as you have a card to discard, you can get to Shaddoll fusion. And Shaddoll fusion is, arguably, the best card in the deck. So that's just one thing to kind of think about there. And then kind of to piggyback off of that, I mean, it goes back to the Fluffals also. So you have Fusion Recovery. So what this card does, I mean, it's a really old card. Target one polymerization, one fusion material that was used for a fusion summon in your graveyard. Add them to your hand. So kind of what I'm thinking with the new roles, right? Like, you'll be able to fusion spam. So like with that, right, you're going to be emptying your hand. Or you need more cards in your hand. So Fright for Patchwork can accomplish that. Fusion Recovery can do that. You're getting another spell back to fuse with. You're getting another material to fuse with. That monster is going to get some effect. So I think that there's some value there. So my last set, this one's going to be really random. So kind of hear me out on this. Yeah, don't turn off the video. So you have Wing Kuriboh, potentially Flutus Summoning Kuriboh, and Selbitiel, the Philosopher's Stone. So let's kind of go here first. I mean, there's not really a right ordering, but Flutus Summoning Kuriboh, you can add one Kuriboh or Wing Kuriboh, or you can summon one or the other from your deck to your side of the field. So I'm not so much focused on this card, but I just wanted to throw this in here anyways. So Wing Kuriboh, basically, it'll save you a turn. If this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, any further battle damage you take this turn becomes 0. So that's cool. If you wanted, right, you have a way to bring this out and either search it or bring it out onto the field. So you could search it, and then from there you can Shaddoll fusion, or you can just summon it to the field and it saves you a turn if you're about to, get killed or something. So I found some value in that, but now here's the whole reason, I would say, why I brought this up. So, with Shaddolls, there's a lot of, different ideas people are using for light monsters, right? So I kind of thought to myself, a little small package of this. So I'm not saying how many of each is like ideal, because it's something I just have not tried out. But let's look at this card. So if you have a Wing Kuriboh monster in your graveyard, so right off the bat, that's why I was showing these other cards. So you can Shaddoll fusion, you can send that. You can Flutus Summoning Kuriboh, add it to your hand. You can Shaddoll, right? I mean, you could just hard draw this, set it, whatever way. That guy's in the grave, then now you can use this card. So if you have a Wing Kuriboh monster in your grave, pay half your life points, which, yes, it's very hefty. That's crazy. But read this whole effect. It is insane. Add one polymerization spell card or fusion spell card from your deck to your hand. So with that, you can add Shaddoll fusion, polymerization, super polymerization. That's crazy. I don't know what other. Oh yeah, instant fusion. That's something. That's just very valuable. I never knew why people mention except diffusion wave motion. So, oh well. But then if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 3 copies of Selbitiel from your graveyard, then target one monster on the field. It gains attack equal to the attack of the monster on the field with the highest attack. I mean, that's not going to go off, but, just the part of paying half your life to search out one of your power spells, there could be some value there. So I just wanted to throw some ideas out there. I mean, also kind of with this, just real quick, you kind of have a way to, get lights into the grave quicker. So you can use like some chaos builds. So, I mean, you have Blackluster Soldier, you have Chaos Dragon Levineer, you have Chaos Emperor Dragon, you have the Emperor of Armageddon or whatever. You have Chaos Sorcerer. You have, I mean, there's a lot of Chaos guys you can use. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this segment. It's a little random, but to be honest, being stuck in the house because of, the virus out there, I just wanted to throw some random content out there and kind of show you guys, my, thought process with, how I'm thinking with cards in the game. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day. Peace.